This is how you play the bass part of constant change. One of the identifying characteristics is it moves with a confident beat. And it jumps between E mixolydian and C mixolydian, usually unrelated keys that are normally not used in the same piece. But it works, and it just creates surprises along the way. Alright, so with the left-hand bass line, it's basically made up of E octaves whenever we're in E mixolydian, with the 4 and 5 scale degrees in between. You do have a repeat of the top note. Go ahead and play this with me. You can watch a couple of times and then join me on the last 2 times. 1, 2, watch 2 times. Now join me. Alright, now what the right hand can be doing, sixths and thirds are really great ways to add a little bit of fullness, and you can be sure it's going to be consonant. It's going to sound, right. Alright, so I'm going to start with a sixth on the 5th, B. And I'm just going to move my sixth down with each repetition of that bass line. Go ahead and try that with me. 1, 2, ready, confident B. Do it again. Alright, at this point the pattern shifts to C major. Left hand just transposes this to C. So you're still doing octaves with the 4th and 5th scale degrees in between. Watch 2 times, then join me the last 2 times. 1, 2, watch first. Now join. For the right hand, I'm still going to use sixths, and I'm actually just going to use the exact same ones. Just going to take away the black keys from E mixolydian. 1, 2, join with me. Do that again. Alright, so at this point it's time to go back to E mixolydian, but by this time you might be ready for a vacation from the pattern. So instead of going back to E, since E mixolydian is very similar, well actually the same as A major, let's put it in A. I'm going to start my 6th now on the 7th scale degree, so my 5th is on top. G sharp to E. And then, of course, I'm going to transpose my octaves with my 4th and 5th in between for the bass line. Watch first. 1, 2, watch the 4th times. Alright, so you'll notice that I started varying the rhythm of my right hand because I don't want to stay on these whole notes anymore. I've already done that 8 times with E mixolydian and C major. Go ahead and try that with me. You don't have to use the same rhythms that I did in the right hand. You can choose your own. 1, 2, ready and go. Do that again. So we used A to replace E mixolydian, now it's time to go to C major. But we need a vacation, so let's put it in G instead. So in G, actually I'm going to go down here so I can keep my sixth in the same place. In G, we're doing our bass line in G, but remember we're still supposed to be in C major, so I'm just going to take away all black keys, even when we move down to an F with our sixths. Watch first. So we didn't really move to G major, we're still in C major, we're just starting on G instead. Try it with me. 1, 2, ready and go. And you may be looking at my right hand thinking, well, you've got an E in there, you're not in G, you're in E minor. But it doesn't really matter what my right hand's doing because my bass line is so strong and so established in G, and that's what really makes us in G. Alright, at this time, it's back to E Mixolydian. So I'm going to stick with putting it in A. 1, 2, ready and go. It's time to go back to C major. If you really want to change a tone, you can replace it with going to D. So let's go to our D octaves, 4th and 5th in the middle, and I'll just go ahead and start on A and F. 1, 2, ready and go. So there are your basic ideas for that bass part. Really, that left hand is what's driving everything, so I would kind of keep that static. I'd let that be your structure. Octaves with the 4th and 5th in between. And I'd also let the structure be E Mixolydian twice, C major twice. But of course you don't have to start the bass line on those notes if you need some variety. You can start E Mixolydian on A instead, or C major on G, or D. That'll give you a little bit of change. And then of course the right hand, we keep it simple because the bass line's so busy, but if you have the coordination, feel free to do whatever you want in the right hand. I just stuck with sixths today so that my focus could go to my bass line.